Class discussions are an integral part of the MAT at USC experience. Each week, professors assign students readings that allow them to have informed discussions during class. In this clip, the students are discussing child development and using the virtual hand raise button to take turns contributing.
Let's go to Heather and then to Frank, please.
I think the area where I see the most use for this theory is in determining whether a child is kind of in the failure to thrive category. If you have a child who's not realizing some of these basic things that it's been well established on the bell-shaped curve most kids in this stage can achieve, then you can start asking questions as to why. You know, maybe there's a learning disorder, maybe this is just a late bloomer.
Professors will often prompt students to think about their own developmental background and how it relates to the course material. In some cases, professors might even prompt students to talk to each other in breakout sessions. During a breakout session, students will be sent into separate virtual rooms where they can meet in small groups and then report back to the class about their discussion.
Okay, so I'm going to break you into groups, and what you can do is you can decide which of the readings, you choose any reading that you want, and pull that out and look at those and work together to come up with some written responses to those 5 questions. Take about 15 minutes to do that, and I'll come around and monitor the groups and see if you're doing okay.
I think we won't have time to do both of our breakouts. I think what we'll do is we'll just spend the rest of our time debriefing and having you guys ask questions and see if there are things that I might be able to answer either in relation to some of the questions that you raised in your group.
Well, group 2, I would say we ended up talking a lot about state testing and standards from state to state versus like more of a national standard, and if there should kind of be one per grade. And we talked a little about federal government, No Child Left Behind Act.
How is motivation? How do you think motivation is addressed by this theoretical approach? Anyone?
Well, I think that that's probably how it starts, and the hope is that it becomes an intrinsic reinforcer over time. But I think it's kind of tricky, particularly with younger students, to instill that intrinsic reinforcement, to have them make that cognitive jump between, okay, I get a prize, and okay, this makes me feel good because I've learned this concept. So I think that's where some of the problem with behavior theory is getting the behavior to last once the extrinsic reinforcers are removed.